Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997 back with another figure review. This time I DC Direct Batman Hush Harley Quinn. Now, I bought this figure already loose for a really good reason. This figure runs upwards of between $80 to $120 every time you find her on eBay. Now, the way I got her so cheap is, number one, she's loose, of course, and number two, instead of her standard hammer, I have her holding the DC Universe Classics hammer, which honestly fits a lot better in her hand than it did in the DC Universe Classics Harley Quinn hand. As you can see the comparison there. So, is this figure really worth $100 for being so sought after? Well, you'll notice right off the bat that her foot is not on the base correctly. That's because, pulling her off, there's really no way for her foot to stand unless it's just kind of back it up. Stand like this. Her other foot is the only one that has a peg. Of course, the gun is non-removable, just like all Hush figures. Her wrist rotates very easily, elbow joint, and her arm, of course, rotates and goes out a little. This arm, however, has almost no movement. Goes out, has an elbow joint, but refuses to bend, and I'm afraid if I put more pressure on it than that, it'll break. Wrist joint. Very, very slight leg movement. Knees go back to about there. Head has some pretty impressive movement. Of course, these tassels are a very soft plastic. So the articulation is very, very limited. Of course, the standard Batman base. Nothing particularly special about it. So, while her articulation is more than just limited, it's very poor actually. And she has such a high price tag. The only thing that's really redeeming about this figure is the sculpt. Like pop her hammer in. As you can see, it's a very popular sculpt for obvious reasons. So do I think anyone should pick her up? Honestly, not really. Definitely don't pay $100 for her. I ended up paying $30 for her loose, and I got that was a steal. Honestly, I'm glad I have her. I'm not looking to sell her, but $30 I feel was too much. Once it's posed, it looks pretty cool. But other than that, the figure's just so poor, it might as well have been a statuette. So, this is JTrain997. I'd give the DC Hush Batman Harley Quinn a very gracious 6 out of 10. I think that's being way too easy on it. And without further ado, this is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube.